is Friday. He is Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen Jacoby. Tell me, what is it that we do?
We give the people what they want.
We have an update on where James Harden might play basketball this season. We have the Raiders blowing their playoff chances last night, but we start with some breaking news. Drew Brees, after breaking 11 ribs and puncturing his lung, is going to play Sunday in New Orleans against the Chiefs after we saw the Taysom Hill experiment last for 4 games. Jalen, what do you think about this decision for Drew Brees to play and how it impacts this game?
I'm a highly trained professional, Jacoby. You know, I went to college for mass media, radio, TV, film, so I'm forced to play a doctor on television. You might not believe this. When I was young, I actually thought I was Dr. J. I even signed my autographs as such. Everybody used to laugh at me. And the reason why I bring this up is, what did you say happened to Drew Brees? Did you say
he broke 11 ribs? 11 ribs. Broke them.
Let me just say this. If he broke 11 ribs and he punctured a lung and he coming back to play a football game in 4 to 6 weeks, he got a special anointing, dog. Like, forget football, he got a higher calling. You know, if he coming back from that injury. With that being said, I mean, their offense is going to be explosive. It was great to see Michael Thomas start getting some catches, start getting some yards. Alvin Kamara wasn't as effective, clearly, with Taysom Hill on the center. Now expect them to go back to being a dual threat. They're the best trio in football, sets of triplets. Hopefully their defense now can get back to playing the way we expect them to play after getting shredded by Jalen Hurts and Philadelphia. We'll see how they come out and if they respond to that loss last week.
I would say the trio in Green Bay is better, but we don't have to argue that now because I want to turn our attention to the other side of the ball, which is the Kansas City Chiefs and their weapons, especially a gentleman by the name of Travis Kelce. Jalen, let's celebrate Mr. Kelce's accomplishments because as much as he is praised, he does not get enough.
There are times in my life, Jacoby, believe it or not, I actually had a tight end. There are times in my life I actually had one. I'm getting back to it. And the reason why I bring that up is one of my favorite positions. So when I see guys like Waller and Kelce, it just reminds me of throwbacks like Ozzie Newsome and Tony Gonzalez and Shannon Sharp, you know, Antonio Gates, some of my favorite people that I watch play the position all of the years I've been watching football.
Did you just make a tight end pun joke? Did you just make a tight end pun joke in the year 2020 and think that was original and funny? Oh, God, it is so Friday here today. Well, Jalen, I'm going to bring up something I brought up on Monday, and that is the Chiefs' margin of victory in the past 5 games. They are easily head and shoulders, not just the best team in the AFC, but the best team in the NFL, yet they always end up just kind of sort of squeaking out these victories. Drew Brees back in New Orleans with fans, limited number of fans in the Dome. I am picking the Saints with the upset. Their defense is excellent. I know they kind of got beaten up by Jalen Hurts and the Eagles last week, but in the Dome, the Chiefs just kind of sort of just pull it out at the end of the game. I'm going the Saints in an upset over the Chiefs.
I got you, dog. Like I said, Travis Kelce has a chance, Jacoby, to be the first tight end to lead the league in reception yards. He's going to go crazy this week. The Chiefs, in fast forward, they find a way to still get it done.
That is clearly the marquee game in this NFL Sunday, and we'll preview a lot of other ones. But first, we have to turn our attention to the National Basketball Association, where we have an update on James Harden. 2 things. Number 1, the Rockets have expanded the number of teams that they would discuss a potential trade with beyond the Nets and the 76ers to other contenders. And we have word that the Sixers would be maybe kind of sort of willing to part with Ben Simmons in a package for James Harden. Jalen, what do you think about those 2 updates on James Harden's future?
I love those updates and that professional reporting. You remember when the Washington Wizards came out and said that they weren't going to move John Wall? And then you look up a couple of weeks later, they moved John Wall. Yes, I knew James Harden was getting moved on the basketball floor. When he returned, they won the tip, and John Wall crossed half court with the basketball. Trust me, for a guy that's led this league 3 straight times in scoring. You know, the only other guys that do that consecutive seasons were Gerd, the Iceman, MJ, Ernest, and Kevin Durant. Like, he's in that category. He's a fantastic offensive weapon, Jacoby, but he just handled his trade request improperly with the squad. You're supposed to come back, be on time, be in shape, play top basketball, and then now the other squads like Philly and or the Nets that you put in pole position, they can try to grab you. Now they've opened it up to the rest of the league. So Pat Riley on the phone now and other people that's trying to sniff around and see if they can get him. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, but he'll definitely get moved.
One thing I find interesting about the 76ers being willing to part with Ben Simmons is this quote from Daryl Morey. Do you remember him? Like Tommy Shepard before him said, "We are not trading Ben Simmons. He's an important part of our future." Jalen, if they end up trading him, what does this look like for Daryl Morey?
So apples and oranges, even though they seem like they're the same. When you're Washington and you're a team that didn't make the playoffs, and we know Bradley Beal and Wall didn't ever see eye to eye the way they should to maximize their talent. And we talked about John Wall's offseason and how once, he was videoed that I felt like that was going to be his exodus from Washington. This situation is vastly different. You bring in Daryl Morey, you bring in Doc Rivers for validity to your audience and to your fans. So Ben Simmons is a young prospect, Jacoby, that's been an all-NBA player. So you got to be careful when you speak into the microphone because you're earning the trust of the people and you're earning the trust of the locker room. And if you say you're not going to move Ben Simmons, you can't necessarily jump up next week and move Ben Simmons. Because a lot of his fans and a lot of people who don't like the move, they're going to, A, not necessarily trust your word because you just lied into a microphone, because it's sometimes your job to do, but B, you could just avoid the entire thing and say, we love what we're doing right now. We're trying to build on what we have. And if the best deal approaches, we'll deal with it. But when you say you're not going to move him, there are most people and people in your locker room that heard that he's not being moved. So either we need to listen to what he's saying and he's not going to be moved, or we're going to look back and feel like we were told a lie.
Well, honestly, the Simmons plus some pieces for Harden deal seems like on paper it works for both sides. We will see if it happens, but I don't see any other natural dance partner for the Rockets to move Harden aside from them. Moving on to last night's NFL football game. The Las Vegas Raiders needed this one, Jalen. They needed this one for their playoffs hopes. Everything was on the line for the Raiders in this game. And what did they do, Jay?
So
they lost
here's
the game.
The thing, dog. Yeah. Dog.
They lost the game.
So for those that don't know, our producer, Demetrius, is a diehard Raiders fan. And they're just a tick better than the Lions. He just doesn't realize it. And so when
That's the
I
most
told him
disrespectful
that
thing
the
anyone's ever
Raiders
said about the Raiders
weren't going to make the playoffs, he was in shock. The music stopped. Can you stop the music at the club, Reg or Tanner? He stopped the music. Like, are you serious? I'm like, dog, have you been watching your team the last 5 weeks? They lost 4 of those games and should have lost to the Jets. Fired their defensive coordinator. They lost their quarterback in the first quarter yesterday. Waller's a beast. Jacobs is an animal. I love both of them as young prospects. But this is not a playoff team. Look, he's wide open, Jacoby. You know what that receiver's name is?
He had to stop.
You know what his name is? You know what his name is? Jalen strikes again, D. He strikes again.
The Raiders defense did not look great yesterday, and they had a chance to win. They had a chance to win. At the end of the game, they kicked like a 75-yard field goal. It was one of the most curious decisions I've ever seen. It was just like, what? When they brought out the kicker, I'm sitting there in my bed like, what? Wait. What are they trying to do here? Like, they're going to run a fake field goal at the end of the game?
I know I'm old school and I watch too much of this stuff because I was literally at the studio in South Seaport when they said this. I was like, do they think they got Jan Stenerud? I was literally trying to think of the kicker that had a half a foot that played a long time in the league because I'm like, this getting blocked. There's no way this is going in. It was like a comedy of errors by both teams at the end of the game.
It really was. It seems like Anthony Lynn tries new and inventive ways to lose football games at the end, and this time he was just outdueled by a man who wore the wrong hat. We can't say enough about this. Like, John Gruden actually walked on the field with an Oakland Raiders hat on and then said it was a prank that was pulled on him or whatever. And let's not forget, he used to coach the Oakland Raiders. Did he just have this one in the closet, or do you believe that he was really duped by someone in the organization?
No, dog. Let me tell you something. my guy John Gruden got his ears to the street. And he know Oakland is the Bay on fire right now.
Versus battle.
He can't be on national TV with a hat that says Las Vegas with the words Raiders under it. Not just yet. Short was on the show yesterday. He and E40, the goon with the spoon, got a versus this weekend. You know the entire country going to be hypey this weekend. We're going to be saying hella. We're going to be saying dank. We're going to be representing the Bay to the fullest. John Gruden knows this. So therefore, he had to rock a hat to say Oakland.
John Gruden is just excited for the E42 short versus battle on Saturday, so he had to come out with the Oakland Raiders hat. And then when someone noticed, they made him switch it. Good for John Gruden. Always got his ear to the streets. Always got his ear to the streets. However, he will not have his ear in the playoffs because they tried to kick an 80-yard field goal and then lost the game to the Chargers. Whew. It is time for some very important news that matters. Jalen, one of the greatest artistic achievements of our species, of course, is the film. Not the movie, the film coming to America. And the sequel is soon upon us. What you're looking at is an image from Coming to America 2. Jalen, how hype are you for the sequel to Coming to America?
Hey, dog, this is an all-time classic. This is one of those things like rap music that we was trying to keep into the community for ourselves, and then mainstream America just got exposed to it. Coming to America, man, Eddie Murphy, it's great that they're redoing this flick. I can't wait to check it out. It's going to be historic. And by the way, Jacoby, you always get on me about knowing movie plots. It's funny, you didn't ask me to plot to this one. You figure I know, huh?
No. Here's the thing, is I know if it's all black people in the cast, you know every single plot point in the film. However, if it features people that look like me, you just have some sort of like recollection based on what the title says.
So therefore, I want to flip the script. Can you name me one or two characters in Coming to America?
All right. First of all, I know the full plot to Coming to America, and I'm personally disrespected by that question. That hurts. I thought we were friends. I really thought we were friends. Gob's upset. Go to break. Go to break before we get in a fight.
Name one of the characters.
Jalen, the pandemic has forced us all to work out in different ways. I've been going on long jogs, doing some calisthenics, and at my age, you need to recover. Now, whether you're my age or whether you're a young man or whether you're older or whether you're an elite athlete or just a regular person like myself or an ex-elite athlete like Jalen who's turned into a regular person, I've found the key to recovery, and that is using the Theragun. Using the Theragun is the perfect way to treat your muscle pain and muscle tension. It is the perfect way to recover. It is a handheld massage device that has different speeds, depths, and powers that really makes you feel better when you use it after working out. And guess what? There's an even bigger deal with the Theragun. Try Theragun for 30 days. There's no substitute for the Theragun Gen 4 with an OLED screen, personalized Theragun app, and the quiet and power you need. Go to Theragun.com/Jalen right now to get your Gen 4 Theragun today. That's Theragun.com/Jalen. Theragun.com/Jalen. Coming to you live from Pier 17, the South Street Seaport, and brought to you by Chase. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, it's time for the segment where you decide what we discuss. It is Keep It Moving.
Tang. Woo. Tang.
If you want to discuss the topic, say hit the brakes. If not, we will keep it moving. And we start with what I believe is our first hold me back moment of the 2021 season in the NBA. This time it is Thomas Bryant and Blake Griffin. Jalen, commentate what you see before you.
Well, Bryant trying to get position on Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin doesn't want him to get a layup. Blake Griffin has a guaranteed contract to play in a lot of years, and he uses his body weight against him, and he throws him down, and it is hold me back after that. And you know right now during COVID, y'all got to put on some masks. Y'all going to be getting that close now.
I do like the way Blake Griffin handled that. He just laughed at him the whole time. Like, he wasn't trying to be a tough guy and like try to go nose to nose or say, meet me outside. He was just like, you know, we all know what this is going to result in. This is going to result in absolutely nothing. So you might as well save yourself your breath and your energy because nothing is going to happen from this. And also that might be the only time that we show the Pistons the entire season because I don't know what y'all are doing with that franchise, but it might be worse than the Lions. Moving on. We actually have some Kawhi Leonard
Hit the brakes.
information. Well, as you know, a gentleman is claiming that Jerry West owes him $2.5 million for his involvement in bringing Kawhi Leonard to the Clippers. Kawhi said that man had nothing to do with me coming here, meaning Kawhi to the Clippers. What do you think of this story, Jalen?
Jacoby always says everybody's a hero in their own movie. So therefore, if he sent an email, if he sent a text, if he had one phone conversation, that's valid. But Jacoby, I can't front like I mentioned on here before, and I got some very credible people in my phone. I'm not saying that he's the lead domino by any stretch of the imagination, but at one point in time, he had some level of support and or involvement, allegedly, to Kawhi potentially getting hooked up with West and getting further hooked up with the Clippers and then making sure they kind of knew what to say in the meeting type of thing. So again, I think you're going to see this get settled out of court.
Well, Jalen, since you quoted me, I will quote you. Whether it's 1% or 99%, he probably had some involvement. Where it falls in that spectrum, we will never know. But it's somewhere on that spectrum. And if he had some influence, or if he even gave him Uncle Dennis's number or told him that maybe Paul George was a possibility, even if it was 1% of influence over Kawhi Leonard coming to the Clippers, you will see a settlement happen out of court. Moving on to the NFL weekend, we have the Browns looking to get 10 wins against the Giants. That is the Sunday night game. Keep moving, hit the brakes.
Browns going to have double-digit wins after this weekend. Baker's been playing really well the last couple of weeks. Keep it moving.
Sure has.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
Jalen, we picked the Cardinals as our team before the season started. They need this win Sunday afternoon in Arizona against Jalen Hurts-led Eagles. Will our Cardinals get this win that they need so desperately?
I think so. And you know what they did last week that I'd like to see them do more often? Is actually feed D-Hop. Because what ends up happening is when you have so many weapons and Kyler can do so many things, you end up spreading the football around. Like they did it last week. I think they could do it this week. I can't wait to see he and Slay go head to head. I feel like the Cardinals find a way to win, even though it's, oh man, I don't want to pick against 3 Jalens. That's blasphemy.
No, they're going to win. Here's what happened. No one really said it out loud, but Kyler Murray was hurt for like 5 weeks in a row. But last week, he looked like the old Kyler Murray. I think the Cardinals take this one pretty easily. And then we have an AFC East showdown. Usually the Patriots are on top of the division, and the Dolphins are trying to upset their playoff hopes. This time it's a little bit the other way around. However, the Bills are on top of the division. Keep moving and hit the brakes. Patriots-Dolphins.
I'm looking forward to watching this game, more so to see how the Patriots, though a different football team, still Bill Belichick respond to being bounced last year basically by the Dolphins and having a rookie QB. Keep it moving for now.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
Another divisional game. This time it is Tampa Bay against the Falcons. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes for us. Hit the brakes.
Jalen, I can't tell if the Buccaneers are the best team in the NFC or are a complete mess. I have no idea where they are. Tell me, are they a good playoff team or are they going to have to make some serious changes this offseason?
They're good, but Jacoby, I feel like almost like the Clippers in the NBA for different reasons. So many changes in one offseason, it's tough for a team to put it all together and win the Super Bowl that same year. You know, the Saints have had heartbreaking losses to end their season the last couple of years. And you know you got wild cards anytime you got Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson on your team. So based on that, I think the Bucs do find a way to get this win. But they still got to play a lot better and a lot more balanced.
Okay. Jalen, the Lions, one of your only chances to watch them play because they ain't making the playoffs. Okay. We'll go to the Lions and the Titans. They play the Titans. How much do you think they're going to lose by? 22 to 30 points is what I would say?
Here's the only thing about this weekend. Like, we once had Megatron. They kind of have their version now in A.J. Brown. Right, we have had Billy Sims and Barry Sanders. They got Derrick Henry. And you know what I fear is defensive backs trying to run up on Derrick Henry. Like,
don't do it.
That's a problem waiting to happen, dog. And so He's going for 2,000 this year. For those that haven't paid attention, he has an opportunity to not only break Eric Dickerson's record, but to get 2,000 yards. I'm scared that he's going to try to get 200 of them yards, Jacoby, against us this weekend.
He's going for 2,000. He needs to average 156 in the next 3 games to get there, and he's got his eye on the Lions defense. He's going to be stiff-arming everybody. I can't wait till Louis Riddick gets hired because finally we'll have some intelligence and some balance in that front office, and maybe something good will happen for the Detroit Lions because it's been so long. When we come back, not just games on Sunday, it is Conference Championship weekend. We'll preview the biggest game in the ACC. That's next on Jalen Jacoby. Two games tonight on the ESPN Networks, ESPN2 at 8 o'clock. It is the Brooklyn Nets against the Boston Celtics, and then in the nightcap at 10:30, the Lakers take on the Suns on ESPN. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, that is Ian Book leading the Irish over Clemson. During the regular ACC season, they meet in the ACC Championship. Can the Irish, led by Book, pull off the upset?
It's going to be a lot closer than some people may realize since Trevor Lawrence returned. And as a Midwesterner, a longtime Michigan Wolverine fan, I got a profound respect for Notre Dame football, whether it's Tim Brown, Rocket Ismail. I was at a game when he returned 2 touchdowns of the game when Desmond did the catch. I think, however, Clemson finds a way to get their revenge this weekend.
Jalen, as we head into the weekend, we wanted to celebrate some high school football. Take a look at Doug Brooks from Shiner High School. Look at this stiff arm from the big running back. Look at this. Get off me. That is an
Absolutely.
assault.
Doug out there giving Shiner.
So
It's Jerome Bettis. Looking like the bus out there. Looking like Derrick Henry, Earl Campbell.
I just love the head coach being like, you know what? I don't think everyone can tackle this guy. Let's just make him the running back and see what happens. And it paid off. You can see Jalen tonight on NBA Countdown at 7 o'clock. You can see us next Monday at 2 p.m. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. Make sure you listen to our podcast and stay safe. We always say we give the people what they want. Part of giving the people what they want is providing podcast exclusive content. As you know, yesterday we had a full podcast exclusive show. We'll continue to do that for you every Tuesday and Thursday. A couple days off as the holidays are coming, but we're going to give you a dope pod of stat too.
Holiday.
So I'm going to take everybody behind the curtain for a second because as we all know, Jalen only cares about 2 things in life. 3 things in life. 4 things, 5 things. Basketball, family,
Check.
lobster, his background on the show.
Check. Definitely. Last time that I checked.
And his hair.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, on the conference call this morning, I just feel like your confidence level with your hair is starting to get off a little bit because you asked our producer, Andrea, what you should do with your hair for Christmas. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, you've been preparing for this moment for 3 months. I've been having to do a show with a dude with a hat on for 3 months, and you don't even know what you're gonna do. Now you put it out in the polls. You're phoning a friend. What happened? I knew the second this. Yeah. What? Yeah. What are you doing?
All right. So boom to boom. So here's an important thing that just happened right now. We doing the pod. It's Friday afternoon. I'm cooking. I'm taking out my Jamaican rum. So when I get off work tonight, it'll be thawed out because I get off late. And
why you keep it in the freezer?
Kind of like Tracy Morgan. Kind of like Tracy Morgan in this last OG show. If anybody has seen the episode with the barber, the legend, played by Rakim, his name was Sears. And in my ear, I just heard the legend. I heard the legend. Reg the Ledge has spoken.
He doesn't believe in you either.
Reg the Ledge has spoken. The guy that brought me my first do-rag. The guy that gave me my first Jamaican oils. David Jacoby, the guy that seen me do television shows for the first time in my career with hats and beanies and scullies wolfing, getting ready for the big stage. 5 games, Christmas Day. And then I grew my hair out for a minute. And then when I grew my hair out for a minute, I heard one word that is really important to you when you get closer to 50, Jacoby. You know what that word is?
Graves.
Younger. Look younger. And when you hear that word, Jacoby, you got to think twice. You got to think twice. And over the last couple of days, I was thinking, what should I do for Christmas Day? I know I'm going to be crisp. I got my suits. I hooked up everything. But now Reg the Ledge has spoken. So therefore, Andrea and Reg confirmed it. I will be doing my best to take my ponytail down, my curls down tonight when I get done with NBA Countdown. And I will be ready. 3 day. Oh.
I'm concerned about you, Jalen. I'm really concerned about you. I just want you to know that. As your brother, I'm concerned about you. Because you've never really like reached out to other people and just sort of like, mad other people to do it. And we need you to be wavy. We need the graves to come out, the gray waves. We need the graves. Break out the graves. Break out the graves, Jay. Break out the graves.
All right.
Like
I said, Jacoby, I heard a magical word, dog. Younger.
Well, who are you listening to? Did someone tweet at you? Like who are you really listening to? You know what I mean?
No.
Just because someone said people compliment you all the time. People are gonna compliment you. And I'm not just talking about you personally, Jalen, but people compliment you all the time. Sometimes they don't mean it. You know, like you can't really take that stuff into consideration like that. Like people are gonna say stuff all the time. Like I swear, every time my wife and one of her friends gets together, the first thing they say is like how cute something they have on is or whatever. It's like they compliment each other on what they're wearing. It's like it's just customary. They don't mean what they're saying. It's just part of the way they communicate.
But women do that different. They also walk up to each other sometimes and grope one another, like grab their thigh, grab their bosom, like girl. And that's really confident and refreshing to see how they give love to each other. Men should take that into account instead of being mean and angry and sometimes jealous to one another. No, you're right, D.
Yeah, next time I see you, I'm just gonna grab your thigh. That's what you want? Is that what you're hinting? Is that what you're hinting at, Jay? Instead of shaking your hand, instead of giving you a pound, you just want me to come up and just give you a thigh massage? Is that what's going on? That's what's hot in the streets right now, Jay?
I guess you're right. That's like one of those Biggie lyrics that I went back and was listening to the other day. I was like, wow, he said that?
Yeah.
You do what to her daddy?
Things are different in the 90s.
You do what to her daddy?
Things are different in the 90s.
Like, whoa.
Like back when you used to like freestyle, you get together and like have some beers and freestyle. Someone always say some super left stuff off the top of their head. You're like, it'd be like a record stop moment. You're like, whoa, what'd you just say you were gonna do to me? What?
And for those that if we get in some video, this is Extreme Podcast exclusive. It's Friday. I'm feeling good. Season about to start.
So do you cook anything besides lobster tails and wings? You always say what a great chef you are, but it feels like it's just lobster tails and wings. I feel like you got 2 pitches.
Dog, I got ribs. I got ribs that I hook up with the best of them. I wash my hands, dog. What I need gloves on for, D? You don't know nothing about cooking, D.
If you're cooking your own food, you're fine.
What I need some gloves on for?
All I know is you got a real rich kitchen. You got a rich kitchen. You got a 7-figure kitchen.
You know what, D just reminded me? You know what?
What?
You know what, D? The kind of guy that asked me to wear gloves in the kitchen while I'm cooking for myself, you're the kind of guy just walk around all day with a condom on. Just walk around with a condom on.
This is such a Friday show. Oh, Jalen. Tell me about what's in the jar. So one thing people don't know about Jalen does not drink from a normal cup, right? It's always jars or vases for flowers or some sort of like carafe for wine or something. Like he doesn't have just like a cup, right? So now what he said is he takes out his Jamaican rum from the freezer, right? And it's not. It looks like a raspberry smoothie, and it's frozen. So I know it's not just Jamaican rum. So what is that concoction in that jar?
Well, actually, this Jamaican version of a sangria. That's the wrong thing.
So what's that?
This the Jamaican rum.
Okay, I just want everyone to listen at home that Jalen's got about a gallon and a half of alcohol that he plans on drinking tonight after this show. Like that's
for the weekend.
That's like 64
for the holiday.
Ounces.
For the holiday, dog.
So take the people behind the curtain. What are those concoctions? Did you make those? Did you buy those?
No, actually, there's a black-owned business not too far from where I live. That's a Jamaican restaurant, and a young lady each Thursday hooks up something special.
Oh, that's nice.
She lets me know what's going to be on the menu. I order off the menu, and out of gratitude, she turned me on, because she's Jamaican, to their rum. And of course, as much as I like food, I was like, wait a minute, you got rum too? Yeah, whoa, hit the brakes. You got rum too? So at that point, like yesterday, Jacoby, I got some oxtails.
Love oxtail.
Oxtail.
Love oxtail so much.
Okay, jerk oxtails is what I
feel
had
like I feel like white people are scared of oxtail. I feel like white people are like, wait, you're gonna eat the tail? And then because my wife is Jamaican. My wife is Jamaican, yeah. So like I remember her mom made oxtail and I ate it for the first time and I was a little skeptical. It's like, wait, we're gonna eat like the tail, like right near where the poop comes out? Like, all right, I'll try that. So good.
Yeah, you just ain't exposed to it.
So
that's all.
Good. Oxtail is so good when it's done right. When it's done right, it is so good. It's like the most tender short rib you've ever had in your life.
Yeah, I agree.
What else do you have?
So no, it's just a light day, dog. Today Friday, like I said. I'm doing an interview for Renaissance Man today. Actually, Adam Silver.
No one asked you what your day was. Adam Silver's doing a show?
Yeah, Adam Silver. Going to interview Adam Silver today. Going to release it on Thursday. The NBA tips off on the 22nd. 5 games on Christmas Day. Want to promote the start of the NBA season and talk to the commish. And I want to thank him, dog. I want to thank the commissioner. You know why I want to thank him? Shout out to my brother Styles P, who sent me this hoodie. Pharmacy in the house.
This is a podcast.
You know why I want to thank him? It's because I know his job was tough when he had to go to some people and say, hey, we're going to put 29 messages on the back of these jerseys. And we're going to put Black Lives Matter on the court.
That wasn't only it. Job was tough when the Bucks were like, we ain't playing basketball, and everybody else is like, we ain't playing basketball either. LeBron James is like, I want to go home.
Right.
And then he has to, and then he's empathetic to the cause. He's also empathetic to everything that's happening in the world, but he wants his basketball to be played, but he understands how everyone's feeling. Like that's got to be a very difficult place to be in. A very difficult place to be in. Exactly.
So I'm going to talk to him about that. And ask him who his favorite rapper is. I want to know who his favorite rapper
is. He's not going to give you a name.
You don't think he's going to name somebody?
I wonder. Let's see. Who's Adam Silver's favorite? Will Smith. Will Smith is Adam Silver's favorite rapper.
He has so many NBA games, dog.
It's Will Smith. It's Will Smith.
So many NBA games. I know he be hearing the hip hop, dog. I know he hear it,
He's going to be like Conway the Machine. He's like, oh,
exactly.
Okay. Oh, you know who he's gonna say? He's gonna say Dame Lillard. He's gonna say Dame Lillard. He's gonna say Dame Lillard. That's what he should say. He should say Dame Lillard.
For real, dog. You know my head would explode if he say Griselda. You like seriously? It'd be the favorite thing that someone has ever said to me if he said that.
I would love it. I'm gonna text him before he does the interview and tell him to say Benny the Butcher. I'm gonna text him. I got Adam Silver on the text. No, I don't. He got a burner. You know, he got a burner Twitter account that someone figured out was him. I think he lives by you, doesn't he?
Yeah, he got to make sure he following his players, dog. I would do that too. Just like if you wasn't on social, you would do that with your kids.
Oh, I'm going to. I'm going to put a tracking device on my kids. They got this thing called Tiles. Like, it's like basically a tracking device. I'm going to put it right in the kids' backpacks. People already do that. Like, know exactly where you are at all time. And then once you buy a kid a phone, you can just track them. You can just track them. All right, go ahead.
For sure. So I got to ask you something. One of my favorite IG posts of all time happened yesterday. It was you and the kids, dog. Oh, yeah. Y'all was sliding down hills, enjoying the snow. Like, those are the type of things that uncles need to get invited to, dog. I was jealous.
You're always invited. You're always invited. First of all, you're so black that you don't even say the word sledding. You just say sliding. You know what I mean? That's how black you are. Because y'all didn't have sleds. You had like cardboard boxes and lunch trays and stuff.
Yeah, we break down some boxes all day.
So we had a snowstorm here in New York City, right? And kids hadn't seen snow because they lived in LA for a few years. Last couple years, like, we didn't really get snow in the Northeast, but we had a real snowstorm, you know, like probably 4 inches or whatever. And the snow was kind of perfect for sledding. So one of the kids in the neighborhood was going to go to this one little hill and go sledding. So we don't have a sled. I don't have a sled. I'll buy a sled. So we get there, and my wife was there first. I was doing some Christmas shopping. Y'all got to do your Christmas shopping right now. I try to do some online Christmas shopping. That stuff is not getting there by Christmas. So you got to get out of the house. Yesterday, I was like, I got plenty of time. I was like, it's 8 days before Christmas. I can just do this online. Nope, can't do it online. It's over. So you lost. So if you haven't done your Christmas shopping, don't plan on doing it online because it's not getting there on time. So I realized that. So I had to run around. And it's impossible to get around in New York City now because you're scared of the subway and cars and everything. So I had to run around to some stores, get some Legos or whatnot. So whatever. So I meet up with them. And they're at the sledding hill, and Quincy's on a sled, going up and down on a sled like it's his. And he's got the girls in his lap, so they're all going up and down the hill on the sled. Quincy, where'd you get the sled? He goes, I found it. Where'd you find it? He's like, it was over there. It was over there.
You?
No one was using it. It was over there.
Yes.
And I was like, huh. And I was like, huh. So now it's getting dark. And I had some reservations for some outdoor dining when you dine in one of those little plastic tents for the kids. I was gonna give my wife some time off. So I was like, all right, we gotta go, kids, we gotta go. And I'm thinking to myself, now here's what I want to ask you, Jalen. So we're gonna leave, and Quincy found the sled. Do we leave the sled there, or do we leave with the sled?
Oh, I'm the perfect person to answer this for you. First off, you started this conversation by doing the distinction between sliding and sledding, right? So this is definitely cultural. But you know what's universal? Finding things.
Yes.
You know when I felt like I wasn't so bad at it? When I fell in love with Good Times, and J.J. Evans used to find things all of the time too. You know, he'd come home, and this is like my brother Kev, by the way. He don't mind me telling these stories. Like my brother Kev, like y'all see him now. He retired from the Army. He like all professional.
Upstanding citizen, great photographer.
Exactly. Hey, dog, let me say, he used to find dogs. Like we had Champion Capone. We had a German Shepherd and a Pit Bull. They was called and we had a Doberman and a German Shepherd called Champion Capone.
Yeah, and then, black people always name their dogs like super tough things. Like my wife's dog growing up, like, what was your dog name? She's like,
Killer.
Power. Yeah, Power.
Yeah, Killer.
It was just like,
yeah, your dog had to be a straight killer. And you know what else he used to find? Like, back in the day, people used to steal, like, not only the tires and the hubcaps, but you used to steal the emblem off the front of the car. So, like, the Cadillac emblem and the Benz emblem, and then they become belt buckles or chains.
Yep.
We used to have those all day. And so, this is my advice to Q. As somebody that's gone to a lot of basketball courts without a ball, but left with a ball, like I've done that, like, for real. Like, I'm Houdini with it. Like I was the dude, dog. I'll bring a marker and put my initials on the ball like it was mine, and then look up hours later and argue with the person like, this is my ball.
It's got my name on it.
Like, for real. And so what I'll tell Q is you got to keep the sled, dog. Because I saw the video. You had your sisters. They were screaming. They were happy. Like,
they were
you gotta
so
keep
happy.
That sled.
We definitely kept the sled.
Dog.
We definitely kept the sled.
It?
Hell yeah. Definitely kept the sled. What am I going to do? Like, just put it on the ground and just walk away from it? It's also like it's not like it's a bicycle or a scooter or something that costs $50. This is just a piece of plastic that costs like $3.99.
Same thing.
You know
No, I gotta stop you there. I
can't teach my kid to steal a bike, dog. No,
because you can go further. You can be like, it's not a car, it's not a house, it's not a stock, it's not a barn.
Yeah.
You know, you can go further and further. There was a kid that left yesterday that went home and cried real tears because their sled was gone. So don't act like.
They should have kept a better eye on it. But I did tell him, I was like, if you're ever sledding and someone asked for it, like it's theirs, you gotta give it back.
No.
That's what I told him.
No.
You gotta give it back.
No. You gotta keep that.
We're gonna put his initials on it when we get home.
I'm gonna tell you when he decided it was his. Trust me. I'm gonna tell you, he didn't realize it was gonna be his until y'all slid down and his sister started screaming. Oh man. Once his sister started screaming, he's like, this me right here. Flat out. He was on some big bro. Oh, you know what? Here's what I want to show you.
He wouldn't let his sisters go down with him. And I was like, Quincy, that's not even your sled. Like, what are you trying to act like you got some ownership over it? Like, no, it's not even yours. He's like, you guys can't have a turn.
Introduce you to my friend that you always joke with me about.
Okay, Jalen, sometimes you just don't understand that this is an audio format. This is an audio format, Jalen Anthony Rose. So the people listening can't see what we can see together. I just want you to know that's why amazing hosts and entertainers supposed to paint mental pictures to make you feel like you're there. See, dog, well, then you gotta find one of those. Then you gotta find one of those. Then you gotta find one of those.
Let me tell you something,
you gotta find
dog.
one of those.
When I was
we gotta get to the
little,
voicemails. I don't. No.
We used to listen to the baseball game on the radio.
Oh my God. You act like people don't listen to baseball games on the radio? Like people don't have cars? All right. We're going to do some voicemail. If you call 985-80-JALEN, you can leave us a voicemail. And today we have a theme. Our producer, Andrea, took your question about your hair.
She's the bomb.
And she decided to do a hair-only voicemails today. Let's listen to the first one.
Because she's the bomb.
Hey, what's up, J&J? Shout out Reg. Shout out the whole staff working hard virtually across the country. I got a quick question for y'all. This is Nathan from Austin, Texas, 512. I've been in the dating world, this year, pandemic, being safe. I've actually been pretty lucky to be dating a girl, a wonderful girl I met, and she looks more like Jalen and Reg. And this is one of my first relationships in this kind of power couple. And one of the most important topics that I've learned a lot about is a black woman's hair. And I know Jacoby's got young daughters and a black wife, and of course Jalen's always putting on for the culture. And I just wanted to ask, see if you guys have any tips how to be, culturally competent on this subject, how I can support her and, be involved, even though I'm pretty not knowledgeable on the subject. So hope you'll have a great weekend. Peace.
All right, so Nathan's in a similar swirl. That's what me and my wife call it, similar swirl. White dude and black girl. And he needs some tips about how he can learn and appropriately deal with a black woman and her hair. And I just have one piece of advice. Don't get it wet. Don't get it wet. Don't get it wet.
So, Jacoby gave some great advice about don't get it wet. I'm going to give you some free advice because water costs a lot these days. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. That's what you don't do. Don't lead by touching a black woman's hair. That is not the lead. Don't do that. That's how you turn them off. not the other way around. A couple of things I want to point out too. So, you know, growing up in a single parent home, I have an older sister, and we didn't have a lot of bathrooms, you know? So, like, you know, there's a lot of sharing of the bathroom. And there were certain products that clearly were not for me that I shouldn't touch. And a few of them were like really important to my mother and my sister's hair. And this changed over the beginning of time, but I just like to give everybody some memories. Like, Jacoby, you old enough to remember a curling iron?
Yeah, they still have those, Jay.
I know, but like that used to be the main source. That was like my guy, I'm looking at the front door. Oh, I'm mad I can't remember his name. That's my guy, Discovered Nas. Large Professor. Dictionary. And so, again, back to the point of the topic. A woman's hair is regal. It is royal. It is beautiful. It's like Samson and his strength in a lot of ways. I can relate in my own way. Let me just tell you my own progression. So for public consumption, as a guy, and women go through this, so I'm going to just give my male version of it. You see me with a bald head. You see me with a part down the middle of my head with a hook on it. See me with a part down the middle of my head that was straight. See me with the half moon Caesar. See me with the cross cut in the back of my head. See me with a low cut fade, low cut Caesar, with a taper. See me with and without waves. The thing I love about women's hair, and I'm gonna shout black women because that's what we're talking about. Their hair is not only beautiful, but it's just so very versatile. So very versatile. Wear it up, wear it down, wear it short, wear it long.
Well, it's a lot. Wear a wig. One thing I got to tell you, Nathan, sometimes it's just not even her hair at all. I went downstairs one time. My wife was having a bunch of girls over. And I was like, where's Joey? They're all like, what do you mean? I was like, where's Joey? I got to talk to her. And then this blonde lady turns around with Joey's face. And I was like, what is going on in the world? Like, what is going on?
But here's what I also want to make sure I point out. Men try to act like they're shaming women for things that A, they can't do, or that they also do. Think about that. Love women and their hair.
We got time for one more quick voicemail. Don't forget to call 9580-JALEN and leave us a voicemail. We'll put you on the show. Hair theme voicemails today. We got time for one quick one.
What up, though, Jalen and Jacoby? My name is Anthony, calling from Poughkeepsie. Shout out, Reg. Can't forget to do that because I call all the time and my voicemails are never, ever played. So I'm guessing the reason is because I keep forgetting to shout out Reggie. So shout out, Reggie. Since, Jalen, you are the wave expert, I have a question about waves. It seems like a popular hairstyle that's getting more and more popular. More and more people seem to be getting them. And I'm thinking about getting them, but problem is I've never seen a white person with them. I look more like Jacoby than Jalen. I've never seen somebody who looks like Jacoby with them. So my question is, do you have to have hair like Jalen to get waves, or is it possible to get waves with my kind of hair? If you could answer that, I'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Keep giving the people what they want. Have a good day.
I think Anthony's from Poughkeepsie. Shout out to Po-Town. My wife went to Vassar, so I was up in Poughkeepsie for 2 full years. Anthony, first of all, I love your courage. Such a bold achievement that you want to accomplish. He wants waves, Jalen. Now, I'm going to let you take this one. How can Anthony get waves?
So, Anthony, welcome to potentially the future waivers crew. I may be a retired member once 2021 hit for a little while. We'll see. But First off, yes, you can do it, regardless of your color. Jacoby shaking his head right now, saying don't do it. I'm saying yes, you can do it. Here's how you can not only do it, but make it look dope, actually. Try to lay it down to where your hair is long as possible. Right? Lay it down to where your hair is long as possible. Grab that Michael Rainey Jr. clip that we posted. You gotta get you some oil, get you some pomade, get you a do-rag. Rinse, repeat, lay it down in and out of the shower. You can have you some 360s. Don't worry about what Jacoby says. Don't worry about what anyone says.
I just Googled white guy with waves, and there are definitely some white guy wavers out there. I think you have to have curly hair. I think you have to have curly hair. Anthony, if you have curly hair, you can make it happen. I don't think you can do it. I have very straight hair. So I think you just need curly hair. Because there's some white guy wavers out there. It looks pretty dope, if you ask me, too.
And Rez just said it in my head. That's kind of like the professional wolfing dude that I'm rocking right now. Like, it could easily be laid down because my hair is long.
Okay, now it's got to a Photoshop of Obama with waves. Thank you for the calls, Nathan and Anthony. Anthony,
we love you, Nathan.
Once you
Keep
get
us
waved
posted.
up,
send us a picture.
Once you get waved up, send us a picture of the waves. We will be back with a special holiday show on Monday. Why is that, Jalen Rose?
We're not done. We're not done. We're not done.